I'm Zara, and I was 43 when Dr. Patel told me I had maybe 3 months left to live. My husband Dane smiled when he thought I wasn't looking. The pancreatic cancer has metastasized extensively, Dr. Patel said, her hands folded on the desk between us. I'm so sorry, Zara. We can start palliative care immediately, make you as comfortable as possible. Dane reached over and squeezed my hand. Whatever you need, babe. I'm here. I watched his face. He was 36, 7 years younger, and we'd been married for 4 years. His eyes were doing something wrong. They weren't devastated. They were calculating. How long exactly? I asked. 2 to 4 months, possibly 6 with aggressive pain management, but the quality of life would be significantly compromised. Okay. My voice came out flat. Okay. We drove home in silence. Dane kept glancing at me, then at his phone, then back at the road. When we pulled into the driveway of our house in suburban Connecticut, he finally spoke. You should probably call your sister. And we need to talk about, arrangements. Arrangements? The funeral, your will, life insurance. I just want to make sure everything's handled the way you want. He got out of the car quickly, like he couldn't wait to start making calls. I sat there for a moment, watching him disappear into the house. Then I called my friend Margot. Zara, what's wrong? I need you to come over tomorrow, alone. Don't tell anyone. The next afternoon, Margot arrived while Dane was at his marketing firm downtown. She'd been my friend since college, 20 years of trust between us. The cancer's terminal, I told her. 2 to 4 months. Oh my God! She grabbed my hands. Zara, I'm so sorry. What can I do? You can help me figure out why my husband smiled when he heard the news. Margot went pale. What? In the doctor's office. I saw his reflection in the window. He smiled, Margot. Just for a second, but it was relief. Maybe you misread it. Shock does weird things to people's faces. No. And on the drive home, he immediately wanted to talk about life insurance. Not about treatment options, not about second opinions, life insurance. Margot sat back. How much? 500,000. We updated it last year when he convinced me we should both increase our policies. He said it was responsible since we were talking about maybe having kids. Were you? Talking about kids? I was. He kept postponing the conversation. I pulled out my laptop. I need you to help me look into our finances. I can't shake the feeling something's wrong. We spent 3 hours going through bank statements, credit card bills, investment accounts. Margot found it first. Zara, he's been transferring money. Small amounts, 200 here, 500 there. It adds up to almost 30,000 over the past 8 months. To where? An account I don't recognize. Look at this routing number. I called the bank, put them on speaker. Mrs. Brennan, I can confirm that account belongs to Lisette Marchand. It was opened in March of this year with your husband listed as an authorized user. I hung up. Margot was staring at me. Who's Lisette Marchand? I have no idea. It took Margot 2 days to find her. Lisette was 29, worked at a wine bar in downtown Hartford, and had been posting photos on social media from restaurants I recognized. Restaurants where Dane said he'd been meeting clients. She tags the locations, Margot said, showing me her phone. Look, Antonio's. That's where he said he took the Riverside Pharma team last month. He was with her. Yeah. I felt something cold settle in my chest. Not heartbreak. Clarity. He's waiting for me to die so he can be with her and keep the money. Margot's voice was careful. What are you going to do? I'm going to let him think he's winning. That night, Dane came home with flowers. Grocery store flowers, the cheap kind. Hey, babe. How are you feeling? Tired, nauseous. Dr. Patel said that's normal. You should rest more. Actually, I've been thinking. Maybe you should stop working. Focus on, enjoying the time you have left. I worked remotely as a financial consultant, making about $90,000 a year. Dane made $60,000. Maybe you're right, I said softly. I don't have the energy anymore. His relief was visible. Great, that's great. Less stress for you. Over the next week, I played the role perfectly. I stopped wearing makeup. I picked at my food. I spent afternoons in bed. Dane became almost cheerful. You need anything, babe? Water? Pills? No, I'm okay. He started staying out later, stopped pretending to hide his phone. One night I heard him in the bathroom. Soon, I promise. Just a couple more months, probably less. She's getting weaker every day. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, and planned. My sister Teresa came to visit. She was younger, 40, and we'd never been close. She'd always thought I married too quickly, that Dane was using me. You look terrible, she said, sitting on the edge of my bed. Have you talked to Dane about hospice care? He's handling everything. Is he? Her voice was sharp. Because from where I'm sitting, he looks pretty relaxed for a man whose wife is dying. Teresa, please. Fine, but I'm staying the week. You need someone here. Dane hated having Teresa around. She watched him constantly, asked pointed questions about his whereabouts, commented on every phone call he took in another room. Your sister's pretty intense, he said on the third night. She's worried about me. Yeah, well, she's making me uncomfortable in my own house. It's my house too, Dane. I bought it before we got married, remember? Something flickered across his face. Of course, I just meant, our house. But the house was mine. The investment accounts were mine. The retirement fund was mine. The only thing we'd acquired together was debt on his car and that joint account he'd been draining. Teresa left after a week, but not before pulling me aside. I don't trust him, Zara. There's something off. Promise me you'll be careful. I promise. The irreversible moment came on a Tuesday morning. I was supposed to have a follow-up with Dr. Patel, but I went somewhere else first. To Dr. Raymond Chen, an oncologist Margot had recommended, a specialist who wasn't connected to my regular hospital. Ms. Brennan, I've reviewed the scans your physician sent over. I need to be direct with you. This diagnosis is wrong. I felt the room tilt. What? You don't have pancreatic cancer. You have a benign mass that's been misidentified. It happens rarely, but the imaging can be deceiving, especially with certain types of cystic formations. You'll need surgery to remove it, and there will be recovery time, but you're not terminal. You're not even seriously ill. I'm not dying. No, you're not dying. I sat there processing. Then I asked, can you put that in writing? Everything. The misdiagnosis, the prognosis, all of it. Of course. I walked out with documentation that proved I would live, and I didn't tell Dane. That night, he brought up the will again. Have you thought about what you want to do with the house, after? I think you should have it, I said. You've taken such good care of me. His eyes lit up. Really? Really. I'll call my lawyer tomorrow, get everything updated. I called my lawyer, but not for what Dane thought. I called to restructure everything. The house went into a trust for Teresa's kids. The investment accounts were locked with beneficiaries he couldn't touch. I even updated my emergency contacts, removing Dane and adding Margot. Then I called Dr. Patel. I need to talk to you about my diagnosis. I saw another specialist. The conversation was difficult. She was horrified by the mistake, defensive, then professional. I'll file the correction immediately. We'll need to schedule your surgery for the mass removal, but yes, you have a completely different prognosis. I'm so relieved, Zara. Don't update my records yet. I need a few more weeks. I don't understand. I need to know something first. Just give me 3 weeks, then we'll correct everything officially. She agreed reluctantly. I spent those 3 weeks watching Dane. He took calls in the garage. He bought new clothes. He mentioned casually that maybe we should cancel our anniversary trip planned for next year. You probably won't be up for traveling by then, he said. Probably not. Margot came over every few days, always when Dane was at work. He's getting bolder, I told her. Yesterday he asked about my retirement account passwords. What did you say? That I'd written everything down for him, put it in our safety deposit box. Did you? No, but he doesn't know that. 2 weeks before my supposed will update appointment, I staged the exposure. Not with recordings or private investigators, with people. I invited Dane's mother, Patricia, for dinner. She'd always been cool toward me, protective of her son. Patricia, I need to tell you something, I said when she arrived. Dane wasn't home yet. I'm dying. Pancreatic cancer. I have maybe a month left. Her face crumpled. Oh, Zara, does Dane know? Yes, he's been wonderful, so supportive. He's even been handling all our finances since I've been too weak. He's always been responsible with money. Yes, although I'm a little confused about some transfers. Maybe you can help me understand. Do you know anyone named Lisette Marchand? Patricia went very still. Where did you hear that name? Our bank statements. Dane's been sending her money, about $30,000 so far. That's impossible. I showed her the statements, watched her face change from denial to recognition to fury. That woman. She called the house 6 months ago asking for Dane. I thought it was work-related. It wasn't work-related. Patricia stood up, shaking. Where is he? He should be home any minute. Dane walked in 15 minutes later, saw his mother's face, saw the bank statements on the table. Mom, what are you doing here? Who is Lisette Marchand? Patricia's voice could have cut glass. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to me. Who is she, and why are you stealing from your dying wife to support her? I'm not stealing. Those are joint accounts. Actually, I said quietly, they're not. They're my accounts. You're an authorized user. There's a difference. Dane's face went red. This is ridiculous. Mom, Zara's confused. The medication, the stress. I'm not confused. You've been draining our accounts to support your girlfriend while waiting for me to die and collect my life insurance. Patricia looked like she might be sick. Tell me this isn't true. Mom, tell me! The silence stretched. Then Dane's expression changed, hardened. What if it is? You think I wanted to spend my life watching her die? I'm 36 years old. I have a right to be happy. Patricia slapped him. The sound cracked through the kitchen. Get out of this house. It's my house, too. Actually, I said, it's not. It never was. Check the deed. My name only. I watched understanding hit him. You can't kick me out. I can, and I am. You have until tomorrow to collect your things. Patricia was crying now. How could you? How could you do this? Dane grabbed his keys. Whatever. Keep the house. I'll get what I'm owed when she finally dies. You won't, I said. The life insurance beneficiary was changed this morning. Teresa's kids get it now. He froze. That's not legal. I'm your husband. It's completely legal. Ask any lawyer. He left, slammed the door so hard a picture fell off the wall. Patricia stayed, apologizing over and over. I'm so sorry. I raised him better than this. It's not your fault. What will you do now? Live, I said. I'm going to live. I told her about the misdiagnosis then, watched relief and confusion war on her face. But why didn't you tell him? Why let him think? Because I needed to know who he really was, what he'd do when he thought I was helpless. 3 weeks later, the divorce was filed. Dane fought it, claiming he deserved half of everything. My lawyer buried him in documentation. The prenup he'd forgotten about, the evidence of financial depletion, the affair. He ended up with nothing but his car debt and a reputation that followed him everywhere. Patricia made sure of that. She told everyone at their church, his office, their social circle. Not in anger, but in grief. Mothers are dangerous when their sons disappoint them. I ran into Lizette 6 months later. She was alone at a coffee shop. "You're Zara," she said. "And you're Lizette. For what it's worth, I didn't know you existed until February. He told me he was divorced." "But you knew by March." "Yes." "And you stayed anyway." She looked down at her coffee. "He said you were dying, that it would be over soon, and then we could be together." "How's that working out for you?" "He moved in with me 3 months ago. He doesn't work, drinks most days, won't stop talking about the money he should have gotten." I felt nothing for her. "That sounds miserable." "It is." I left her there and went home to my house. My clean, quiet house, with no flowers dying on the counter and no lies echoing through the rooms. The surgery to remove the benign mass was successful. Recovery took 6 weeks. Teresa stayed with me, and we talked more than we had in 20 years. Margot helped me redecorate. We painted the bedroom a color Dane had always hated. Patricia called every Sunday, still apologizing, still trying to understand how her son had become someone she didn't recognize. A year later, I was healthy, single, and finally sleeping through the night. Last week, I saw Dane at a gas station. He looked older, tired, angry. "Zara." "Dane." "You set me up. The whole thing was a setup." "No. I gave you a choice. You chose to show me exactly who you were." "I loved you." "No, you didn't. You loved what you thought I was worth dead." He left without another word. I stood there pumping gas into my car, thinking about all the ways love can be faked, and all the ways truth can't. Here's what I keep wondering, though, standing in that parking lot, watching him drive away in Lizette's dented Honda. If I'd actually been dying for real, and he'd gotten everything he wanted, how long would it have taken before he felt anything at all?